Hi, everyone. Silver Joker here. Okay, so I finally nailed him down. Got the great Silver 5150 with me today. How you doing, Silver 5150?
How you guys doing today, Silver Joker?
I'm doing pretty good. Okay, so, I'm going to let you guys in on something. We always kind of go over some of the things we're going to talk about in our podcast for a few minutes before we actually start recording. Well, today, I got a little different thing going on. So, Silver 5150, I know we talked about what we're going to talk about today. The subject and the topic of what we're going to talk about today, but
Okay.
that was not my plan. I have a different plan altogether.
Oh boy.
Are you game?
Yes.
All
I
right,
am game.
so
No fear.
I'm gonna ask you this question. And it's gonna be a bit of an ambush, but I need it to be an ambush, and you'll know why as soon as I ask it. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Hit me. I'm open.
Okay. So, what would you take for your entire silver stack? Now, hold on. Before you answer, I have to give you some parameters. You have to take whatever they're going to give you, you have to give them your entire stack down to the last ounce. And you can't take more silver for it. So, with those parameters, give me your answer to that question. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a break. So while you're thinking about that, let me just tell the audience why I asked you that question.
Okay.
Because that question was asked to me, and I thought, oh, this is pretty easy, it's pretty simple. But then, I thought about it, and it's not that simple. And the reason why it's not that simple is because I don't think about my stack in monetary terms.
Right.
So I don't know how you think about your stack, but I'm very curious to hear what your answer would be.
Okay, so I couldn't just say like the country of Ghana and we're done, right?
Oh, is that all you wanted?
Yeah, that's it. Just country Ghana. It's got nice coastal property and all kinds of natural resources. Okay, I know that won't fly.
I mean, if you want to be a bad sport about this, of course you could say that, and we could end the podcast right here.
Okay, I do love Ghana, but it's not fair to your audience. Okay, I'm going to see if I can handle this. So my entire silver stack.
The entire stack, down to the last ounce.
Man, I put a lot of man hours and thought into the use cases and the different pieces. Ooh, man. But you know what? How about this? Why did I build my stack the way I built it? I built it because I expected to give me access or purchasing power for a reasonable lifestyle until I die. So that would be my answer. I want a reasonable amount of purchasing power for everything until I'm no longer here. Maybe a little bit of extra for my descendants, but just, on a reasonable level, reasonable dwelling, transportation, medical care, subsistence, being food, this sort of thing, access to some entertainment every now and then, this sort of thing, but for the entirety of my lifetime, which we don't know, that could be next Tuesday, it could be, the year 2090. But whatever the case may be, I want that stack. I've been building it for the express purpose to grant me the purchasing prosperity for the rest of my days. That's what I would have to have in exchange for it.
Okay, so let me see if I can visualize this now. So you're saying what you would take for your stack is unlimited purchasing power until you die, or maybe not unlimited, but a reasonable amount of purchasing power,
right,
until you die. In other words, until you are no longer purchasing anything.
Right. I'm not an extravagant guy. I mean, the most extravagant thing I ever bought was my Sequoia, which I no longer have because I don't need it.
Okay, so man, I'm so tempted to dig into that Sequoia thing because I know you loved that truck. We're going to put a pin in that. We're definitely going to come back to that on a different day, or maybe even in private. But I definitely got to hear that. I know how you feel about your Sequoia, but we're not going to get into that now. So basically what I'm hearing from you is you want a card that says you have unlimited access to purchasing power until you die. That's what you would take for your stack.
Yes.
That kind of stacks up with what my answer was. What I would take for my entire stack, I would want real estate for my family. A large amount of real estate that's what I would take for my stack.
Tasmania.
I mean, it would probably be in the United States. I mean, this is where I was born. This is where my family lives. You know,
Okay.
but it's land basically for them. That's what
Right.
I would want.
Right.
You know, but I like the idea. I like that purchasing power idea. I do like that a lot. I didn't consider that. So I know we're talking about this in kind of a jovial way,
Uh-huh.
but the seriousness of this, you know, the more seriousness of this is whenever you think about this question, it forces you to think about the value of your stack and why you're stacking, because you have to think that you're stacking for a reason. Right, you're not stacking just to accumulate silver to the ceiling. Although
this is true. Now I will say this: I did answer the question the way I answered it. It made it sound as if I expect great things from my stack, right? But here's the truth of the matter. Now you said I had no choice. I had to exchange my stack for something, so I was a sport about it, and I took that in the context, and I went with it. However, I challenge anyone. Doesn't matter if it's a government official, postgraduate educated forensic accountant, man on the street, Silver Joker subscriber. I challenge any of you guys to tell me something besides silver and possibly gold that could do that, what I just mentioned. Given what I have right now, that can supply me, given the circumstances that we're in. Now, guys, we're talking about a very hostile financial situation right now. I mean, I answered the question, but the truth of the matter is I was telling you what I expect silver is going to be able to do for me and for you if you stack with that in mind.
There you go. And I'm sure there's lots of people who are listening to this podcast thinking the same thing. That is what you want for your stack. Security, not only for yourself, your family, so to speak. And I know family means different things for different people. We're basically stacking physical metals for financial security, to be outside of the influence of the fiat dollar. The fiat dollar is tied to precious metals. It's not the other way around. Fiat currency is in existence because of precious metals. It's as simple as that. In the past, the security of that dollar was I knew that I could take this dollar wherever I wanted to and get physical metals for it, and you still can.
Yes.
But who knows how long that's going to last, and that's why we stack precious metals for that security. It's the promise fulfilled.
Indeed. And Silver Joker, the thing that kind of puts a floor of nice foundation on what you said is that we are pretty confident that silver is not infinite like many of the fiat or other types of currencies out there. It is quite finite, and it's that finiteness that is going to determine that start date, the opposite side of the trade. Right now, we're in the currency side of the trade, but at some point, no amount of currency is going to buy you any amount of silver, and that will be our time.
That's it. You can take precious metals and get fiat currency for it. At some point, you will not be able to exchange fiat currency for precious metals.
That's right. Wait till people wake up from this dream and they start having to deal with reality.
And that's a good point you made right there. You can't fulfill your dreams while you're dreaming. You have to be awake. And at some point, you're going to have to realize that stack that you're stacking is going to have value that you're going to have to quantify. Why are you stacking? Specifically, why are you stacking it?
Absolutely. I agree. And for all you guys listening out there, know that when you're out there stacking, you don't have to beat yourself up and paying too much over what exactly you're buying. If you're getting a good deal on something that you're absolutely sure is a good quality piece of silver, you like it, it has a good price point to it, it would be a great addition to your stack, you should go ahead and make the move and do it with confidence. Because every single day that we have some of these crazy financial stories come out, whether it's the BIS talking about $65 trillion worth of derivatives that they hadn't accounted for, or whether it's something happening in the crypto space, or whether it's something happening in the British bond market, every time you make a purchase of silver that goes well into your stack, you are placing a bet against the outcome of those events. And guys, that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's going to get so much scarier out there. So you're really, really killing it. Every single piece of silver you buy, Absolutely. You're killing it.
The future is on its way. There's nothing you can do about that. The future's on its way. What that future's going to bring is anybody's guess. What you want to be is prepared for it. Now, we're not going to sit here and say that, go out and buy silver before it's gone or before it's priced out of your range. That is not the purpose of this podcast. We're simply saying, as an alternative to the fiat dollar, have something else. Have something with a little bit more intrinsic value that you control you have access to that's outside of being printed into oblivion. That could never happen with silver, and so, or any of the precious metals. And so that's what we're saying today. So what would you take for your stack? Well, it had to be what you intended for your stack to accomplish. That's the answer for me.
Right on.
All right, well, I appreciate you stopping by, Silver 5150. We're definitely going to have to do this some more, man. I mean, it's been a long time since we talked. I promise to try not to ambush you with the questions from now on, but it's just so much fun, and you're such a good sport about it. Anyway, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I appreciate you, Silver 5150. We're just going to keep the silver train rolling.
Amen.
You got a ticket to ride. All you have to do is show up. Anyway, keep stacking. Peace.